today I decided to make bread. We just ran out of our last loaf. So I was gonna make a brand new loaf today. So this recipe I did get off of TikTok, and it is so far the only recipe I like that actually makes it look like a bread. The other recipes I've tried are just kind of like, when they come out, they're still kind of small and it doesn't give it that like poofiness at the top. So this recipe so far I like. My boyfriend and my baby like how it tastes. I am okay with it. It does taste good, but I feel like there's something better out there, or it might be missing something. So in the future, I'm going to try different recipes. But for now, I'm just going to do this one. So first, I'm going to start off with 2 cups of warm water. So I got my 2 cups of warm water, and I'm just going to place it in my bowl. And then I'm going to do 2 1/4 teaspoons of active dry yeast. And I'm just using this. And then I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of sugar. And then I'm just going to mix it really quick. And then I'm just placing a kitchen towel over it. And I know some people do saran wrap or something else. I personally like kitchen towels, or like any linen cloths or anything like that. So I'm just gonna let it sit until it gets very foamy. I don't really go based off of time, but we'll see how long it takes. But it's just to get very foamy, and I'll show you how that looks later. So while it is foaming, because it's going to take a couple of minutes, so while that is getting done, I will show you guys outside, because I want to give you guys an update on the strawberries that I was worried about. Okay, so something I did forget to mention is that I am in zone 8B, and I live in the Pacific Northwest. So a little background for my garden. So last time I mentioned that my strawberries came in looking like this, and I was a bit worried about them, to be honest, because I didn't think anything was gonna grow. But so before I put them in these little pots, I did soak their roots for about an hour or so, and then I put them in the pots. Well, look at this now. Look at this growth. It looks so beautiful. And then I also found this one, and I don't know if you guys can see it, but it is growing right there. And these are Ozark strawberries, I believe, and they are, from what I think I saw, that they were ever-bearing strawberries. If I'm wrong, I'll double check that, but I believe they're ever-bearing strawberries. So for now, I think I'm just gonna keep leaving them in the greenhouse until I see more signs of life, and then I will plant them in my vertical planter. I received it, but I haven't put soil on it yet because I'm just waiting for the strawberries to grow more. But I'm just gonna wait off on that. And then I did want to show you guys the update on my carrots. So I did end up leaving the cardboard back on the carrots, and I just saw this. There is growth. so nice. And on this bed, there's some growth, not a lot, but I think it's because of the soil. I don't remember the brand, but this one is from Lowe's and this one is from Home Depot. That's because I went to Home Depot first, got soil, and then I went to Lowe's later because it was closest to me to get more soil, but saw that they had a different brand than Home Depot. Since we were already there, I said might as well just get that soil. So as you can kind of tell, that one's darker and that one's lighter. And this one is, I believe it's called Kellogg. I have it right here. Yeah. The only thing I hate about this bed is that because my backyard is right underneath this big tree, I get a bunch of it's like debris falling down on it. So like it's leaves, it's like little flowers, and I do try to clean it out as much as I can, but it falls all the time. But I don't know if you guys can see, I also have the sugar snap peas growing, and from the flower bed I had no hope for at all, I have 2 little flowers growing. I'll put what flower it is and what variety, because at the moment I don't remember. I have a bad memory. So it has been raining basically every day right now. Before that it was a little bit sunny, but right now it's been raining quite a bit. So I'm not going to transplant the blueberry plant into the bigger gallon one. I think I'm going to hold off on that until I do transplant the strawberries. But I want to show you that I did get the acidic mix fertilizer for it, so for when I am ready to transplant them, I'm gonna go ahead and put this on there, but I think it should be fine for right now. Okay, so I want to show you guys also everything I planted. I feel like I planted a lot of flowers, but my whole mission with planting a lot of flowers was to get more pollinators into my backyard. So these are the flowers I planted. A lot of these are from Baker Creek or Plant Good Seed and So True Seed. I did plant the Cut and Come Again zinnias. And then I also planted, so I planted 2 different varieties. I planted the marigold from Baker Creek, and then I also planted these Cracker Jack marigolds and the mixed seashell cosmos. And then I got this African daisy. I don't think it's gonna sprout. It should have sprouted by now, so I don't think it's gonna sprout at all. It does say to sow in the fall or spring, but we'll find out. And then I did also do calendula and columbine, and then also lavender. I love lavender, so this was a must. I wanted to get a starter at first, but I decided to see how it went growing my own first, and then if it doesn't grow, then I can just buy a little one. And then these were the sugar snap peas I bought, and they are from Plant Good Seeds. And I also planted these jalapeno peppers and these cucumbers, and also these carrots. And for the tomatoes, I planted this one. It seemed like a good one to make sauces out of, because it literally says right there, excellent yield and great for canning. So I did want to can, so I thought that'd be perfect. We're gonna see how it turns out. It is a tomato bush. And I have the purple tomatillos, which are also for Plant Good Seed. And I got these tomato bush cherries. And then I forgot, I also got this Craspedia. I think that's how you say it. Might be wrong. But they're also called like Billy Buttons. Honestly, for the whole plant, for the whole flower bed, I didn't have a plan. I didn't have a plan of what flowers to plant. I just went for the prettiest one. And honestly, like when I started doing a little bit more research on it and looking them up, I realized that I should have done that at the beginning, but I didn't. So I could see like which ones were annuals, which ones were perennials, but I didn't do that. So we'll just see what happens. I'm okay with it. It doesn't really bother me. I know there might be some things behind it on why we should do that, but this is my first time gardening, officially gardening. So I'm just learning as I go, and you make mistakes and you learn from them, is what I believe. Also, I also did lemon balm, and then basil, rosemary, and then thyme, and then this lettuce mix, which I thought was perfect because it's a cut and come again selection for like an instant salad. That's what it says right there. So I think it'd be great. And then I also did this spinach. My whole thing is, yes, I wanted to plant some stuff that my family will actually eat. Like I said, I didn't really think too much about the flower section of it. I just thought, hey, pretty flowers, let me plant them. But as far as everything else for the vegetables, I thought it'd be great because we do eat most of them. And then for like the tomatillos, I do want to start making my own like sauces. And my mom did buy me like a molcajete, and I do want to use it because I haven't used it yet, but I do want to use it. And then for a bunch of the herbs, we go through spices a lot. And I think it'd be great to have just for like your own remedies in the future, like the lemon balm especially. I've been looking at other types of herbs I can use, but for right now, I just decided on those. And in the future, maybe next year, I'll start incorporating more medicinal herbs into my gardening because I do want to use more medicinal herbs. So when it gets foamy, it should look something similar to this. And this took about 30-ish minutes. I am so sorry about my hair. I have these little tiny hairs growing, and that's because I am postpartum. I had a baby about 9 months ago now, so my hair is finally growing. So back to our bread though. So after this, we will put in 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And then we will do 1.5 teaspoons of salt. And then we are gonna stir this. And then after that, we are gonna put 3.5 cups of all-purpose flour. I'm just using regular all-purpose flour. Okay, I'm gonna have to buy more flour later. That is 3.5 cups of all-purpose flour. And what we're gonna do is mix it. Up to you how you wanna mix it. Some people use their hands, some people use a spoon. I'm gonna start off with a spoon right now. And I'm just gonna use this wooden spoon. It's like, well, it's kind of like a spatula. I'm gonna mix until it's all mixed in together. I don't see any dry ingredients. So now I'm gonna knead it together. I can't do it on my table because I have a tablecloth, and then I can't do it on the counters because I do not have enough counter space. So I am doing it on a wood cutting board that I specifically use for bread. I'm just gonna dust a little bit of flour on there, and then I'm just gonna plop it down in there. It's great to use this type of spatula spoon because it gets all of it out. Now for my least favorite part, kneading it. I do not like how it feels. I hate how it feels. I don't know. And I feel like it's so sticky. And we are gonna knead for about 7 minutes. The recipe does say 3.5 cups of all-purpose flour. Honestly, I would do 4 cups. 3 cups seems like it's way too sticky. As you knead it, don't forget to flour the surface because it can stick to the surface, and that is the part I hate. I know some people also put it in a mixer instead of hand kneading it. I think it's your preference. I think that hand kneading gets it better from what I've noticed, but everyone has their own preference. It should be kind of like bouncy. Your bread should turn out bouncy. And I know when I first started, I was like, what do you guys mean bouncy? But I feel like as you go over time, you'll notice. Okay. At the end, it should turn out like this. Perfect dough ball. And like smoothish looking. And what you're gonna do is spray your bowl with oil. I forgot to mention, I do use olive oil. You don't, some people clean the bowl, some people don't. I personally don't, because you are using the same dough that you just used. So I just leave it. And then you just place the dough in there. And I'm gonna spray it a little bit more. And then I'm gonna flip it over. So something I did forget to mention is that if it's too cold, your dough might not have a good rise. So what I like to do is preheat the oven to 375, and I just leave the bowl next to the oven, near the oven, so that the heat can kind of like hit it in a way, because the oven does radiate heat. I keep the door closed. It's just literally sitting next to the oven. And my apartment doesn't get warm sometimes, or sometimes it's just cold because we have the heater down. So that can kill how the dough rises. So I'll show you how I have it right now. So I literally just have the oven to about 375, and I have the dough just sitting right here next to it, so the heat can be near it and help it rise. So while we're just letting it sit for 30 minutes, I just wanted to go over. So in total, I did use about 4 cups of flour. It was just way too sticky, but like I said, putting flour down as you need it, it does help a lot. So I just don't like the sticky feeling, yet I refuse to put it in my mixer. But yeah, about 4 cups of flour, and then I'll show you how it looks when it's done. Okay, it's been 30 minutes now, so the dough should have risen, and what you want to do is just punch out any air it might have. So, and then what I do is just flop it up onto there, and ooh, it feels so airy. I did sprinkle some flour on the cutting board so it wouldn't stick to it. And I'm just gonna shape it. You kind of want to shape it into like a log. So get your loaf pan. I have this one. I want to buy a cast iron one day, but for now I have this one, and just put olive oil on it and spread it around. And what you're gonna do is grab your loaf. It's a little, and then you're gonna place it on there. It's just gonna go in there like that. And you're gonna do the same thing. Is you're gonna put the kitchen towel, some people use saran wrap, all over it, and then I'm gonna put it next to the oven again, and you're gonna let it sit for about 30 minutes, and I'll show you how it's supposed to look after it sits for the 30 minutes. Okay, so it's been about 30 minutes now, so it's time to check the bread. I did have to leave mine there for about 40 minutes, so a little bit over 30 minutes, but that's because I had to go pick up my baby really quick. So if you hear in the background, I'm sorry, but let me show you how it should look. So if you can see, it's like kind of over. It should go over the pan a bit. and we are gonna pop this in the oven at 375 for about 30 minutes also. So the bread should be about done. It has been the 30 minutes, so we'll see how it turned out. Look at that. So yeah, you want to make sure it's like a little golden brownish. Next, we are gonna want to melt butter and just kind of put it on top. Either that or oil, olive oil. Preferably, I'm gonna do olive oil for right now because I don't really want to go to the hassle of melting butter. It doesn't take long. It's really simple, but I'm just too lazy for that today. But I do prefer butter on top of the bread, but for today we're just gonna do olive oil. So just spraying it and then just spreading it around. I just use this to spread it around. I'm pretty sure you can use like a paper towel probably, but I've always just used this. It's easy. Next, you're gonna want to put the bread on the cooling rack. And you're gonna want to leave it on the cooling rack for, some people say 30 minutes. I would suggest an hour so it can fully cool down. And do not place it in a bag or anything like that, because just the humidity of the heat and everything will just make the bread soggy, and you'll get like little pockets like on top of the bread. It's not great. I don't recommend it. Just let it cool on there for about an hour. Sometimes if I really have to, I will just place like my kitchen towel over it. But besides that, I try to like leave it just like it is and like cool for an hour. And I'll let you guys know how it turns out and taste. Tonight, I want to make either like a chicken and dumpling soup. So I'm probably going to serve a slice of bread with this, with the soup, and yeah. Here's the end result, and it turned out pretty good. See how squishy it is? And that's how you make a version of sandwich bread. I love it toasted with some butter on. I think it tastes really good that way.